Hey, welcome back to the channel. Today's going to be a maintenance video. We're inside the B2650 now, and we've got 198.7 hours. So, time to do the 200-hour service. Let's grab the old operator's manual. Let's just do a quick rundown. I don't know if you guys will be able to see this, but 200-hour service. We're going to be changing the engine oil, replacing the engine oil filter, replacing the transmission oil filter. We do not have to do the hydraulic oil filter. That'll be at 400. We'll be kind of going through the every 50-hour check through, which is the engine start system, the greasing, wheel bolt torque, battery condition, air cleaner element. That's all cleaning and checking. Be checking adjusting the brake, adjusting the tension of the air conditioner drive belt, cleaning the clogging of the air filter, the inner one, clogging of the fresh air filter. We'll be checking the clogging of the air conditioner condenser and the toe-in adjustment. That will do it for the 200-hour service. So I'll let the tractor warm up just a little bit to heat up that oil, just so it will drain easier. We'll be getting at it. Hope you stick around. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to remove the side cover on the tractor here, which is this right here. That's going to allow me a little bit easier access to get to the engine oil filter. So this is a 10 millimeter, and we will get in here and just remove. And there's one up top here, and there's one down here towards the air filter screens, or towards the front of the engine. It's kind of hard to see with the loader on, but that just slides off, and now we have access. Okay, we're going to remove the two drain plugs. This is an 18 millimeter socket. Let that drain. It's not going very quickly. We're going to go pull the oil fill and the dipstick. Yeah, it's flowing a lot better now. We've went around and greased the tractor. Didn't bring you through that. There's 1,000 videos about where to grease these, but we're all greased up. Now the drain is pretty much done, just dripping a little bit, but now it's time to get this thing out. And these things are a pain in the butt. I'm hoping this will go better because the factory one is painted on there, which made it pretty difficult during my 50-hour service. But you can see these hoses and different things are just right on the filter. But we've got some more of this pig mat material just to help try to catch some of this oil. There shouldn't be a lot, but there will be some. Not too bad. A little bit of a mess. Now that the filter's out, the drain plugs are actually draining a little bit more. So we'll get that, we'll let that continue to drain. We'll get the filter all cleaned up, put these plugs back in, get it filled up. Okay, this is Kubota filter. I do buy these at the dealer. I have a 6-year warranty with my dealer. They extended But and you can certainly do your own service to keep the warranty. I buy the OEM branded stuff while it's under warranty, just in case something were to ever come up. Okay, there we go. It's the HH150 32094. Kubota genuine part. We're going to date this now. Okay, today is 8/5/23. 198.8 hours. We're going to use the Kubota SAE 10W30. If you look in the manual, 10W30 pretty much covers every range of the temperature. So where in New Hampshire we can go extremely low temps, -30, and all the way up over 100 degrees, it pretty much covers you. And I'm just putting a little bit of oil on the seal here. And we will get this started. Hopefully. This darn hose here is a pain in the butt. This has got some long threads on it, man. Okay. All right, we just touched. So once you've just touched the seal, you want to get 1/2 more turn. So I am going to mark that up here. And we're going to try to get another 1/2 turn on this. One more good heave, I think. Okay, all right, that is pretty much right down. So now we're good to go ahead and replace those drain plugs. Clean these plugs up a little bit. Okay, good and tight. We've got a full oil drain pan. So feeling lucky enough that when I got the Woodland Mills, I had to pick up hydraulic oil, and it used this whole thing, 5 gallons. Now I have a place to put my oil. Much easier than trying to drain it into Arnie Palmer containers. Those things work great too. They're heavy duty plastic. God bless you, Arnold Palmer, and thank you for the Arnold Palmer drink and for giving us a container we could put oil in. At the part where we've got to try to put a little tiny funnel down in between hoses so you can get to the fill on this. So the 2650 takes, I think it's 4.2 liters. And of course, you can buy this in a 1 gallon, which is 3.78. Huh, weird. Of course, you got to buy another quart just to try to make up. Now, the challenging part is trying to get this from way up here to get down into this funnel. Sorry if I'm going to block your view, but I really don't have any other way of doing this well. And this is a slow pour. Okay, that does that. All right, we've got that in there. I'm confident I need to put at least another half a quart in there, or around there, but I'm just still gonna check this. Boy, I don't know if you can see that, but if that's right, we're right where we need to be. Just letting that run for a minute. We'll come check out our oil filter. I don't see anything leaking. We'll let that sit for a minute. We'll get set up to change the transmission filter. And we'll let that sit, and then we'll come see the level, add more oil if needed. Yeah, Kubota UDT2 Super Transmission Hydraulic Fluid. This is, we're gonna get our filter ready, and then we're gonna remove the transmission filter. So if you're sitting in the tractor, this is gonna be on the left side. They don't really say that very well in the manual to which filter it is. Of course, when you get the proper filter, you'd notice that size-wise, the transmission versus just the hydraulic oil filter is, they're different. So you would probably know, but just keep in mind it is on the left side, and it's one that comes out vertically off from the tractor, where the hydraulic filter is horizontal with the tractor. So hopefully that makes sense. But we're just gonna get that filter ready. This is the HST filter, HH660-36060. We're gonna do the same thing that we did with the engine oil. We're just gonna coat this a little bit around the rubber seal. Okay, so here we are. Again, if I'm sitting in the driver's seat, this would be on your left side. So this is the HST transmission filter, where on the opposite side, you can hopefully see, this is what I called horizontal with the tractor. And it's a larger filter. It's a longer, I would say, would be the best way, but you can see that it sits horizontally. This one sits vertically. So if you've done your 50-hour service, you would have replaced both these. This 200-hour service only requires that you replace the HST, the transmission one. All right, that's on there pretty good. This one in the manual requires that once you make it to once the rubber seal hits, then the new one, when it goes on, when the rubber seal hits, they're saying 1 full turn. If I remember correctly, in the 50-hour, I was lucky to get this to go 1/4 turn. So we will try to be as quick as possible with this. Get some of my stuff out of the way, because I do expect it to come out a little. Oh boy. Loosen this up a little bit more, I guess. Okay. So I got this one ready when this one comes out. Ooh. I was not expecting that. A little pop. Okay, we have hit. Now, I'll try to get this Kubota genuine parts back to me. And it doesn't. That's what I remembered. This one, for whatever reason, I don't know if it's just the housing on this tractor or not, but it when you get to that rubber seal and you start turning, you probably get, looks like I got about 3/4 of the way around. And it's like, it just hits, like it bottoms out immediately. So there's just no more turning there. Okay, here we are at the rear of the machine. I took the slow moving vehicle placard off so we could see a little better. Here is the dip tube. It actually blew out when I took that filter off. There was pressure in there. Here is the fill cap. It doesn't screw in. It's just a rubberized cap that pops in. Ah, much better. We are right up to the top now. Okay, I don't know if you can see that, but that is halfway between the two holes, the low and the high. So I'm going to add a little bit more. I just prefer, especially because I think there's still work to be done with it going into the filter. Okay, part of this is the engine start stop. What you want to do is sit in the driver's seat. You're going to want to put your transmission in neutral. Make sure that the PTO is off. First check, we're going to try and start this with the pedal either in the forward or reverse position. And it should not start if it is in the forward position. Okay, that seems to be working. All right, next we are going to put the PTO and engage it. And let's try and start this thing. Okay, it is not. Let's take that out now. So the PTO is disengaged. And now we are going to try and start this. Okay, so we're going to set this for the mid PTO, which we're at. I believe in this tractor, if I were to have the rear on, it would actually stay on. That's just how this one works, so that you can run your rear implements. There's nothing to do with the driver's seat here. But we're in the mid PTO. We're going to turn it on. Okay, I can hear that it engaged. I'm supposed to be able to stand up, and it should shut off within a second. It worked. Start system safety, check. So we are at the wheel torque session now, and we will be doing the nuts in the front, the bolts in the back, and I'll be using the foot per pounds. So with the front, we need to be between 57 and 67, and in the rear, it needs to be between 145 and 166. Does look like there's also a nut in the back that will be at 123 to 141. Okay, we are 55, 60, 65. Okay, we're at the back tires, and here is your two nuts, and then here's your bolts. The terminals are nice and clean and tight. And down here, the battery has an indicator. Green is orange, black is charged, white is replace. It's very hard to see, but if you get straight, the angle you're at, it would probably looks black. But if I get in there a little bit, it's actually a slight green. So I haven't had any issues with it. It's nice and clean, so I'm just going to leave it at that. Slightly green, not black, doesn't need to be charged, certainly doesn't need to be replaced. Okay, let's head over to the air cleaner. It's a little dirty, we're going to get that cleaned up. I can remove this one, and we're going to give that a nice little cleaning. It doesn't look too bad, but since we have the air, we'll just get it cleaned out. Okay, this is the secondary element. Okay, we'll get these placed back in. The next would be to clean the fuel filter. There is instructions here. You're supposed to do it when you have less than half a tank. I did just fill up, unfortunately, so now I'm going to have to wait till I can get my fuel level down to a point where I can do this. But it is all in the manual. Okay, we're now going to test belt tension. It all seems pretty good, and the belt seems like it's in really good shape. There's no fraying. Yeah, I mean it's pretty tight, and I've never had a problem where it's squeaking. But if we were to have a problem here, you would loosen this bolt here on the alternator, and then slide the alternator, and there is room to slide this to adjust the tension. All good. Next would be to check the brake here. So basically, I think this is kind of a feel thing. They said you should be able to just depress down, there should be a little bit of release, and then you should have contact. So I think this is really a personal preference. I'm fine with mine where it is, but if we needed to adjust it, there's a rod underneath here. I don't know if you can see it, but it's right here, and we can adjust the tension by screwing this to tighter. Like I said, I'm pretty happy with mine where it is, so I'm just going to leave that. Because we are going to be cleaning the inner air filter. That is up here. It looks like Phillips head screws. We're going to pull this down to release that. Okay, these little things, you want to make sure that screw is way out. I struggled with this thinking it was just going to pop back into those holes, but it doesn't, because you got to unscrew that quite a ways in order to get that flare to close up enough to get it back into the hole. Time to do the fresh air filter, which is going to be on the outside. Unscrew these knobs. Drop that down, pull the filter out, and just add some air. There she is. A little dirty. gonna go blow all these off. Okay, when I was blowing that off, I was blowing it from this direction. You want to blow it from this one. I did correct myself, but I wanted to clarify. You want the opposite direction of which it flows. So in this case, the flow is coming in this way, and then coming into the cab this way. So blow through this way. Here we've got the tractor and the wheels pointed straight. We are going to check the toe in on this. What we want to do is go from what would be axle height and measure from the center bead to the center bead from one to the other. And we're doing this in the front first. Okay, this is at 37 3/4 inches. Now we're going to do the same in the back. Try to get it to the same measurement. I won't be able to do axle height, so we're going to have to do, this is at 37.5 inches. I'm going to go a little bit lower in the front. So trying to measure at the same spot. And this is right on 37.5. Just going to do one more double check here. $37.5. If this were to be off, we would then have to adjust the tie rod end here. We would have to either lengthen or tighten in order to get those to, to line up. So hopefully you can see that. I think you can. Tie rod end, tighten. These screens out, you can see they're pretty dirty. And then just need to check the condenser for the air conditioner, which is right behind this one. Just make sure there's no debris in there. So we'll get these things pulled out, cleaned, and it'll be a wrap. Let that compressor shut down. Listen, I want to thank everybody for sticking around. Certainly, I'm not a professional with this, so I could probably have been a lot quicker, more efficient, but I do need to refer back to that manual. This is really only the second time that I've done most of the stuff on there, and it's actually been since 2019. I don't do a lot of hours. I don't run a lot of rear implements or PTO implements. That is changing now with the Woodland Mills. We will be running that, so the tractor will be sitting idle while I do work around it, but running. So those hours will start to add up more. But thank you for sticking around. I appreciate it. I hope this helped some people, and hopefully my errors and my inefficiency will come out to play in the video, that I have to take a little bit more time, and of course that's all on here of me needing to take more time to get things done. But again, thanks for sticking around. I'll see you guys in the next one.